Whew. Okay, guys. Sorry for such a bad time. I just had some technical problems. But it seems to be working now, so just please let me know. So today is a very sketchy Monday, as I was saying, and the idea is that we're going to continue working on our April image, and that's for the contest, My Time to Shine, and that's the subject of the image. So the idea is that today we're going to work a bit on line art, okay? It took a bit, I'm sorry for being late, but here we are. So I'm just going to share my screen right now. There we go. And this is the same file that we had last time, so last Monday. And we have this separated. So we have this as a line art and this as our value sketch and like added things. And today we're just going to focus on our line art, okay? So let's see, I'm just going to hide all of this. And yeah, I'm just going to focus on line art for today. So the part that I'm going to focus today is all the flying elements around the central image. And after that, I'm going to focus on the central image. Is that okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to sketch with a smaller brush than we were sketching before. So about that size is going to be okay, I'm guessing. And the way to start that is I'm just going to reduce the opacity on this one and start working on it. I'm going to add right now, if you notice, we haven't worked on composition at all. So I'm just going to add that. This is some key that we were using, but it's not necessary now. And I'm going to try to do this for the full composition. So I'm just going to use our brush that I haven't fixed. So it's still kind of ugly, but still kind of works. Yeah, let's just duplicate this. Here we go. And there we go. Let's merge these two, duplicate that, and do this. I should do the brush with the whole grid already. It's such a hassle, but it's okay. It's not a biggie either way. But no. Let's just merge these two. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna do this in blue, just to have like a total difference between these two. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm just gonna do this because I find that is a bit more important. And let's merge this. Is that too much? Yeah, I think that's too much. No, but let's use this colors because we're gonna be sketching in black. Okay, so we have all of these different points where these meet. Oh. And we're going to take advantage of that and start sketching on that. Good. So sketch 02. And we're just going to restart this and draw with a better brush. So it's this one. But it's a smaller brush, so it's this one. Nope, smaller still. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So it's 8. Our number is 8. Okay, up here you can see it. Están diferentes algunos módulos del esquema. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? By there's different modules of the scheme. Okay, so let's just call this grid and let's paint it red. And we're gonna make another one, which is Vanishing Point. And that Vanishing Point, we're also gonna mark it as red. And how we're gonna do the Vanishing Point is with shapes out of Photoshop. So it's a Polygon Tool. And the Polygon Tool here, it's gonna have 100 sides and it's gonna have some settings. And these are the settings. So it's thickness, 1 pixel, free shape, and also like the relationship of the star is gonna be 1%. So that means that the star has an external point and an internal point. Does that make sense? So the internal point is at 1% away from the center. So it's not exactly centered, but it's almost there. 2 different blues underneath. Oh yeah, I know. But it's that's kind of the idea. So we can have different layers of grid. Hey Salo, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Kat, right? Hi, what's up? Welcome. Okay, so this is how we're doing our vanishing point, and it's going to be a simple vanishing point. This is just the star tool being used as a vanishing point. And the thing is, it generates this dark point here, which I don't like. So I'm just gonna erase the dark point, so we just have like the like the nice lines that we like around it. Okay, just like that. Good. And let's color this as well. So we're going to use a different color. So there's cyan. Let's use red. Yeah, there we go. So that way we have our tool. So our vanishing point is one of them. So all of the things kind of collide in the same point and are going towards the same point, the center of the image. And yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's redefine it just a little bit. Let's pull it up a little bit, like there. So it kind of is a position of the composition that kind of works a bit better. And this is something that we learned in our composition studies, right? Like it's not always on the center of the cross, but it can also be like lying against one of the vertical lines. So that's what I'm thinking about. And yeah, I'm just gonna delete some things. This is a new file, so we don't really need all of these. And all of these are already old news. Fake news. So there we go. Let's see. Yeah, this is the background. We're just gonna ignore this. So I'm just gonna call this the rest. So it's all the things that we don't mind about right now. So let's just pull it in red. And the sketch, that's gonna be our main layer. Good. So now that we're here, we can sketch, and we're on size 8, which is not too big of a line, not too small of a line. I think it's just enough of a line to work with. Okay. So the thing here is, as it is a centered, it's a centered perspective, like it's a 1-point perspective. But the thing is, we don't share a plane, so that kind of changes things. I don't know if this makes sense. I'll try to explain. But let's say like this is the plane, and if I were to draw a building, like this would be the plane that it would be sharing. Does that make sense? So these are horizontal, just like these. These are going in the same direction. But the thing is, these things are flying around, so I'm going to have to define a horizontal for each and every single one of them. And that is a tool that we can do pretty easily. So let's just do that. This is also going to be a red one because it's a tool. And I'm going to draw this as horizontals. Let's just call on that. Let's see how it works. So the way I'm going to do this is, okay. I'm just making it up as I go. I don't have any of this planned actually, so bear with me. I'm going to color them blue. So we have a ton of colors that look like default Microsoft Word and stuff like that. That's just the nature of it. So I'm just going to duplicate this line a ton of times and make a place where all of these lines kind of start becoming closer together and then starting to come farther apart. And that way I can have kind of the illusion of like closeness and whatnot. So I'm just going to grab all of these horizontals that I just did, merge them. Let's just keep the name horizontals. Oh, I think as soon as we're going to make it a smart object, it's going to change the name as well. Yep, it's not going to be red. Okay, good. So this is it. And the first object that we're going to do is we're going to sketch this brush right here. So it's a big painter's brush. And I made it a smart object. So when I do this and when it kind of gets modified, it doesn't lose its information. So I can do this and then I can scale it back up and it's still going to have its full resolution. It's not going to get dirty because of that. And that's just because it's a smart object. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, let's try it out, see how it works. So I'm going to try and do this, like to be as close to my original idea as I can. I'm not going to force it, but I'm going to try, okay? So yeah, there's a ton of lines. I know it's super confusing, but it's necessary. I'm sorry, but it kind of makes sense. I'll just reduce the opacity so it's not as noisy as it can be, okay? So finally, let's get to sketching. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's just do it, whatever. No, black, dude. Yeah, okay, good. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna make this brush like close off over here. And with this one, oh, actually, I want to use the red lines as a guide, so it's gonna change a bit of the shapes that I've sketched, but they're gonna work better than what we had planned before. So that's the good news. That's a good part of it. This is not going to be the cleanest sketch in the universe, and I don't intend it to be, so it's okay. I'm just going to make this a bit bristly. Okay, there we go. And let's try to make this as bristly as we can. There we go. So it's still going to be super, super flat. Let's erase parts of this. Let's use a harder brush. There we go. Okay, so this is where it starts to get a bit repetitive and silent, just because I'm going to draw whatever I had sketched before, so it's not going to be as interesting. So let's start talking about whatever. How has your weekend been? How has the start of the week treated you so far? Is it okay? How has it been? Just let me know. Okie doke. There we go. So yeah, I just cut this off, but I don't actually, I'm gonna, yeah. Let's just make it like a soft line. There we go. And let's make it towards this area. Yeah, just to support this flat line. I don't know if that's such a good idea, actually. Okay, let's just finish the sketch and then we're gonna modify it just a little bit, okay? So what I'm thinking about is this is gonna be the area of the handle of the brush. Dang, there we go. So it's gonna be something like that. So I don't want it to look like a broom, but it's still gonna be like a miniature broom. So that's kind of the area that I'm wanting to do. Good weekend was just like chilling time, and today was pretty fine. Oh, that's good. That's a great start of the week then. I'm super happy for you. How was your weekend, Arthur? Actually, it was pretty okay. I rested a lot, which is nice. Like I usually rest a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like sleeping like a lot. So I usually rest quite a bit. But this weekend was also pretty cool because I played a ton of a game that I really like, and I was, which is Zelda Breath of the Wild on Switch. I think it's an amazing game, and there was this time when I was seeing the world like in a darker hue, and that game actually helped me a lot. And right now I've been playing it with a very special friend of mine, and it feels super cool, you know, like it feels super cool to revisit this game and kind of feel it again, under a different eye, under a different shade. So yeah, it was pretty okay. I'm really happy with my weekend. And also a lot of people kind of invited me to their homes and like took care of me, and it was beautiful. It's been a beautiful weekend, actually. And also a week. So yeah, it's been nice. Okay, so I'm seeing something here, and then just this brush is not reading as well as I want it to read, so I'm just gonna add this, like a little fake curb over there, and just hoping that works. Does that look like a brush? I hope so. Like, it's a very thick painter's brush. Oh, a new follower, and it's Foz. What's up, Foz? Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, yeah, I was just talking about Breath of the Wild, and the person who just subscribed has like a tattoo on his back of Zelda. So it's a pretty cool tattoo. And the nice thing is that he asked me to help design it. So it's a pretty cool tattoo, if I say so myself. And it's a big one as well. Like, it's just line art, but it's amazing. I really love his tattoo. So yeah. Hey boss, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Okay, so there's a ton of things that are happening here, and I'm thinking that I need a secondary vanishing point. Eesh. So more lines, guys. It's gonna get super confusing. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's just do this. And the idea of this one is that it's gonna help me define the verticals of this character. So I'm just gonna like move it like this, so it kind of gets easier to understand. So these lines, which are like vanishing towards the bottom, are the ones that define the verticals. And these lines are the ones that define like the depth of the image. Does that make sense? So if I were to draw a cube, I'm gonna make it a new layer. It's gonna, it should be something like this. So I'm just gonna use these as the flats. So you can see that I'm using the guides. So I'm using this line to do the verticals. So this line, I'm kind of imagining it in between. And this one is are the depths. So I'm just imagining one that is parallel to these. Okay. And that way we can have a cube that it kind of occupies a space, and it's a bit more realistic. Does that make sense? So that's how it looks like being flat over a plane. But what we have actually is not a horizontal plane. It's something that is kind of tilted. And once we remove all of these guides and lines, it's just going to look like something's flying. Does that make sense? I'm sorry if it's confusing, because I know it's a ton of lines, but I've grown used to them, so this is how I work. So I'm sorry if it's a bit overwhelming, but there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep working like this because it's useful actually to have this. Good, and I know we have a character on top, and I'm thinking that I haven't really designed these characters, so let's just make a quick sketch in like right next to it and see how it goes. Okay. So I'm thinking that a brush is something that kind of paints a lot. So I could make it like an old octopus for some reason. I kind of imagine that. So I'm imagining an octopus that is very old, that has like this mustache, and it's a very cool octopus. So maybe something like that. And it's a bit chubby. So he's a bit like my dad, and he's super cool. And he wears a hat because sometimes it rains. So let's just do that. And he has very cool tentacles. And yeah, that's kind of what this octopus could look like. Let's make another sketch. So I'm thinking that his whole body could be like a face as well. So let's just do this. So it's a happy. Okay, no, let's just leave it like that. And we can say that it has like these little ears that kind of become like hands. I don't know if I've seen like octopi. Look at me using plurals and stuff. Octopi that kind of do this. Let's see. And all his legs are kind of going backwards. So that could be it. Yeah, I'm thinking that that's good enough. So I'm just going to use that as a guide for the character that I'm about to draw. And I'm going to do it in a separate layer. Oh, it's already in a separate layer. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's start drawing that. So I'm thinking that maybe it could be like that kind of volume. And this octopus could be kind of grabbing onto some of the bristles. So it could be something like that. This is a complex image, guys. Like, it's gonna get out of control real quick. So let's just do this, and it's kind of grabbing onto this one. That's pretty neat. And also he has his leg up. We can do something like this, like it's going into space in here, and it's kind of opening up like the brushes, like the how do you call those? I just said that word, didn't I? Bristles, yeah. So it's something like that. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but let's try it out still. Okay, so let's see if this works. So sometimes they kind of curve their legs like this, I feel, like for support. That's something I would do if I were an octopus, probably. And let's try to make one of them like flying off as well. So it's grabbing onto it. And should it have a hat or not? Let me know. When you imagine an octopus, does it usually have a hat? That's the question, isn't it? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay, so it's not entirely centered, and that's good enough. Okay, so it's something like that. And we can make it kind of transparent, so it can have like a brain or sorts of something like that. It can be like a jellyfish internally. So it's kind of mixed media octopus. I like octopus with a hat. It gives him personality. I know, usually it would wear a bucket hat. Oh, a bucket hat. That's pretty nice. I like the fact that it's a bucket because he's kind of the painter, you know? So I like the fact that it's also kind of transparent, so we can see his mustache through his own surface. But we can have him holding a bucket as well. Like, I like that idea a lot, so I'm gonna steal it. It's mine now. Thank you. Let's see. So it's gonna be a circle, and it's gonna like go with these lines, but just not exactly. Okay, and something like that. I'm just gonna have him hold a bucket. And it's gonna be a bucket of paint, so it's Pintuco Bebe. Let's see if that rocks or not. Okay, we can have it be painted. Okay, that's pretty nice. So it's going to be a bit of a transparent octopus. So yeah, I think that works. I think that's good enough. Whew. I had a hamburger for lunch today. It was delicious. Like, I loved it, but it's still pretty heavy to process for my body. So yeah. So I'm thinking that this is kind of his mustache. Does that make sense? And this is his brain, so it should be something like this, like divided in half and whatnot. Like, I know that this is not how an octopus brain looks like, because they don't have like a centralized system, I understand. But still, it's gonna be fun to draw. So let's just do it, whatever. Okay, so now we can think about composition. So let's just return to our usual point of view. So this is our usual point of view. And the good thing about Photoshop as well is that when you transform, you have the center. So if I modify this, it's gonna like pivot and not center. But what you can also do is you can define a center. So I can, with Alt, I can select the center, and then whenever I rotate, it's going to rotate in that same regard. Does that make sense? So I want to do it so it supports our composition, and it doesn't become like a central object, but it's kind of a secondary object. Just about there could be good enough. And it also supports that line, but it's not occupying it. Okay, I like that. Let's move on. So I'm just gonna do this. Let's do this as octopus. And this as a brush. Whatevs. Rusi, I'm writing gibberish here. Brush, there we go. Octopus and brush, good. So I'm just gonna make these into a smart object, so I don't start drawing on them. That's a good thing, because when I start drawing on it, it says like, wait, what the heck? This is a smart object. You can just edit it. So yeah, that's something new. Okie doke. So let's keep going. I'm thinking about the pencil. So let's just do that. We're going to switch the horizontals, and we're going to select this as the center. And now whenever we like modify them, they're going to respect that. So that's pretty cool. They're always going to be perpendicular to at least one of these lines. So let's do the pencil, which is just right here. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just gonna like align our view to the horizontals, so sketching becomes less awkward for you guys, basically. Okie doke, that's really good. I am tempted to use symmetry just because it's an object that you can kind of mirror one, like in both directions. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that just because it kind of defeats the naturality of it. Like if it's perfectly symmetrical, it feels fake. It feels like it was just placed there. So I'm just not gonna do that. Here we go. Whoa. Sambapati. No. Ooh. Well, it's kind of crooked, but it's no biggie. That's also kind of crooked. No biggie either. Okay. And the thing is, this tip kind of dips inward. And the cool thing about pencils is that when you when you sharpen them, they kind of lose some of these edges, and that's how they stop becoming like hexagonal and start becoming a bit more cylindrical. No, like conical, is that a word? But like a cone. Does that make sense? So yeah, something like that. So I'm just gonna grab a pencil real quick and see like what the markings are, just to copy them. Ooh, I just stepped over a cable. Oh, hang on. There we go. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Oh, they're in my bag. Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'll be there in a second. What a bunch of stuff I carry around. I carry so much stuff. Hey, Mom. What's up? Welcome. Thank you for being here. I love that you and Dad are always kind of getting connected, and I think it helps a lot. Like with the pandemic. I don't know if we can say that word, but I'm just gonna use the Game Grumps word. I'm gonna say with the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. It's it's a good thing that we can at least see our faces like this. So with all that's been going with the world right now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I don't want to do this like exactly with the same branding and everything. I'm not interested in that. So I'm just gonna like emulate it a little bit. Oh, is this like this approximately? It's more like that. Okay. So I'm gonna deform the horizontals a little bit so they kind of work for me right now. So this is the horizontal. This is the new normal. Woo! A new follower. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being here. This is super cool. Thank you. I always get excited when you get connected because you're such an amazing artist that I shy a little bit, like I'm scared of doing something that makes no sense, you know? So yeah, thank you for being here. And thank you for following. That also helps a lot. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this. We can actually slide our own logo right here, and that would be cool. Let's do it. So it's, I don't quite remember how it goes, but okay, something like that would work. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so let's just add a number 2 here, and I think we're gonna be done. Actually, let's just draw 2H. Like, it's something like, whoa, it's gonna be super big because it's really close to our face right now. Yeah, okay. Let's just flip it. There we go. Okay, a bit closer. There we go. Yeah, something like that. That's good enough. 2H, because I always use the number 2H. It's a really cool pencil to work with. Whew, it's getting hot in here, boys. So I'm just gonna change it a little bit because it's too. Oh, I can open the window as well. Hang on. There we go. What am I wearing under this? Is this presentable? Yeah, okay. Hang on. Are you ready for a color change? So this is also black. Amazing. I always use black. Okay, that's good. What else can we add? I think that's good enough for a pencil. Yeah. So, okay, let's see if there's another place that we can add this. So once again, we're just gonna make this into a smart object somehow. I don't know. Oh yeah, sometimes that happens. Like if you click here in this little square, you get different options that if you click here in the layer name. Does that make sense? Are you seeing this? Yeah, okay. So let's just see it from afar and start editing it just a little bit. See if we can have, like for example, this being right in the tertiary composition. And I like that. Let's see how this looks without the grids. It's working so far. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's keep going. So let's just call this pencil. Pencil. Okay, goody. We have some images that we already did, so with our study session, so I'm just going to use them, you know? I'm just going to go ahead and bring them in. Let's look for them. So that was a study stream with art supplies, right? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is our study stream file. Let's see if we can open it. There we go. And we can just do this. And we can slide all of these into this one. Ploop. There we go. We can close you. So here we have it. We have a ton of these and they're ready to go. So yeah, let's just use them, you know? That way we can save a ton of time. So let's start with a UHU. The thing is, these are all like in different angles because that's what I wanted to study. So let's just get rid of the horizontals. There we go. And I want them to fit in with with our vanishing point. So, and also with our sketch, like I don't want to do this and be like, yeah, it looks good and it fits with our vanishing point, and have it not working, you know? So yeah, I'm just gonna try to fit it somewhere it works. And sometimes that means it's gonna be like a lot smaller than what we had planned or what we had worked with. Okay, so right now I see this and I like it. The thing is, this is not working entirely, so I have to fake it a little bit. So I'm just gonna support that just a little bit, see if it works. And now I notice that this doesn't work that well. Like the tip is kind of crooked, so let's just modify it. Actually, we can just cut it out and paste it. The thing about this is we're still going to have to draw some outline, because part of our plan with this image is to have the line art be a different color, and that's one of the big sources of our colors that we're going to be using. So I still have to use this as a guide in order to draw. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to draw the line art. Okay. Oh, I messed up there. I can't see. So a lot of people who are starting out usually ask me like, hey, which tablet should I get? And that's such a difficult question to answer, but there's something you should know. Okay, so the thing is, I have this tablet, and there's a cool thing about having a screen that you can draw on, you know, like it's a really good tool. But the only thing is that sometimes where you're drawing, you can't just see the guide that's right under your hand. But if you have a more traditional tablet, let's say, for example, I'm drawing here and I'm looking at Photoshop in the screen, you can always see the entirety of the image. So sometimes it's actually easier to have that kind of tablet. So I know a ton of artists that would prefer that kind of tablet over a Cintiq, let's call it, or one of those that have a screen and you can draw over. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is a point where we decide if we continue with UHU as a brand, and I don't want this to be like directly any of the brands. So just like I was avoiding drawing a brand in the pencil, I'm going to draw a different brand here. So let's just finish this, and let's have a little bit of fun, because this is a fun image, and it's also like no one is paying me to do it. It's going to be part of this big contest, so it still has to be like serious, you know. But let's just have a little bit of fun. And I'm gonna make this brand not UHU, but like Yoo-hoo. Does that make sense? That's the kind of dumb jokes that I love. Okay, so there we have it. And let's just draw another line here. Okay, let's see if this works. So wonderful it fast right now. I'm looking for a new tablet, so this comes in our moment. Oh, that's cool. Do selections in Photoshop get pixelated or lose quality when you adjust them? I've always wondered if it's just a Procreate thing. No, that also happens in Photoshop, actually. That's a great question. So let's just make a quick experiment, okay? So I'm drawing this square. Okay, and I want to make it as tall as this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna make it become as flat as this one. Does that make sense? So let's say this is in a different layer, just for reference sake, and I transform it. So I'm gonna transform it as this tall, and then this, if you can see, this has become like fuzzy, and this hasn't become fuzzy as much. It has, but not as much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to retransform it and make it as flat as this one. Okay. So here it has like re-solidified in some ways, but it's also become way thinner. So if you can see, this line is way thinner than this one because we're collapsing a vertical, like a horizontal image. And now I want to make it look like the regular square that it used to be. Okay. And this is where we start losing a ton of information. Okay. So that also happens when you select things. So if I select this and kind of transform it vertically, that's when you start getting all of these artifacts, you know? And it also depends on which transformation technique you're using. I'm not sure if we can see this here. I don't know where this is. Yeah, I'm not sure. There are different ways to transform things. So let's just see. Hang on, let's see if when I place transform. Yeah, here we go. So this is these are different interpolation techniques. So one of them is bicubic, I guess, bilineal. There's also a softer bicubic, a more focused bicubic, and automatic bicubic. So that means that when you get a pixel, let's say, this is way more detailed than like we need it to be, but let's say I have this pixel, okay? This is just one pixel. And now I want to transform it. So let's say I select all of these and I transform it and I kind of duplicate its size. So this is what bicubic does. Like it has those pixels and kind of expands them solidly. And that's why I like them. But let's just switch this. Instead of bicubic, let's just make it bilineal and see what the difference is. So right now it's seems like the same. That's pretty cool. Let's try a different one. I think the most different one is just by approximation, something like that. And that's better for colors, but worse for line art. I understand that. They are all working amazingly right now. So I don't really know what's going on. But yeah, that's super weird. That's super cool. Yeah, I don't know why, but it's gotten better. Like because I used to do this experiment and it used to just like get gray and like mixed with a ton of things, but this is working wonders. So I'm just gonna leave it with a technique that I use all the time. Let's see if we draw, it's gonna change things. Okay, let's try things. Yeah, maybe. So let's try it again. So we have this. If we expand it, then you get this. So you get bigger squares than the ones that were usually involved. And that is by approximation, okay? So let's try that, but bicubic. So let's do this. And let's try to do that again, but bicubic, okay? There we go. So that's a difference. Like it makes them all soft. Does that make sense? So that's a huge difference. Let's do that again. This has become a tutorial and I love it. So hang on. Let's just do this and let's duplicate this. So we have these two and we're gonna duplicate them and make them larger, like each in a different one. Okay, so this one, let's make it by approximation. So by approximation, and let's make it larger. There we go. And this one, we're gonna make it larger, but by cubical. Okay. There we go. So these are kind of the two different ways that Photoshop has. There's a lot more that are like midpoints, but these are kind of the two differences. And it's not that one is better than the other, but let's say, for example, the first one is great for pixel art, you know, like it kind of maintains harder edges, and that's also for by approximation. But this one is better for like colors, and like it starts mixing colors and stuff. So that's yeah, that's one thing. And the good thing about smart objects is that they don't lose their resolution, like the detail that they used to have. Are they here? Yeah. So yeah, just as an example, let's do this. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make this. There we go. So this one in the right is going to be a smart object. Okay, so I'm just going to make them smart object. And this one, whoa, this one doesn't have anything to do there. So this one isn't, okay? So the one on the right is right because it's smart, okay? And the one on the left isn't. So let's just modify them. Let's see. So I'm just going to do this and hit enter. And then I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to extend them vertically. So this is the difference. Do you see the huge difference? So the one in the right is keeping the information originally, and it's not like muddying it after transformations, but this one is. So that's the huge power of smart objects. Also, the fact that I can go anytime here, and I can modify this, okay? And I save it, and then I go back, and it's here. So let's say, for example, I have multiple objects, okay? So, and they're different heights, whatever. And they're all smart objects, okay? The thing is, because I have a single file that I can work on, I hope that they are all gonna, so this one is mad now. I hope that they're all gonna, you see, like it gets applied to all of them simultaneously. So that's really powerful thing that you can do in Photoshop and also transform, okay? Did that answer your question? Okie doke. So let's see. This is the UHU one, right? Yeah. Let's just remove that. So now it's Yoo-hoo. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So I'm gonna make this box cutter. It most definitely did. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm happy about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna make all of these visible again. There we go. And let's make the box cutter not be like a main object, because it's kind of like an aggressive object, if I may say so myself. Let's try to do this. Let's see if it works. So I know I'm kind of deforming them willy-nilly, and I'm trying for that not to be a problem. And the thing is, this is not like a perfectly symmetrical image, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. But we've accidentally made it super, super main in the composition. So let's just modify it. Let's just make it here and a bit secondary. Oh, and the good thing about redefining the center is that it's going to rotate on that axis, but also when I scale it, it's also going to scale back and forth. So that's super useful when I want to make like different things happening in the scene. Let's say, for example, I want to train like box to be repeated once and again, like in the same perspective. So I can do this, and it's a pretty easy way to make something become like, if it's something that is exactly the same model, but it's just one after the other, like a train, this would work really well to do that. And you only have to design one, and then you can kind of paint over them to make them a bit different, and that's it. Okay, so this is the box cutter. Let's reduce opacity, and we're going to sketch it all over again. So yeah, let's make our horizontals as well. So here we go. So this is the one. Yeah. Whoa. There we go. Is that aligned? Kind of, right? It's so weird. Let's just make it a bit like willy-nilly, like there. Not perfectly vertical. That's good enough. Okay. Let's use this as a guide. What's going on? Oh, no, I don't want to write anything. Thank you, Lorem Ipsum. That's super useful. Okay. So I'm going to make this so it's easier to draw and sketch. Okay. So yeah, I'm super happy to answer any questions that you might have on. So let's just go this here. Now we're gonna make this box cutter. So yeah, if you have any questions about this, I'm more than happy to answer them, because these are things that I know, like, it's really hard to get information on. And if there is information, it's super technical. Like, I've seen the actual mathematical, there's a whole thing in Adobe that you can just go into the website and download a gigantic PDF. And it's a PDF that explains how they programmed Photoshop. So it's like all the functions that are involved in transformation, for example. So the difference between bicubic and lineal. They're all available for you to see. And it's super complex. But after you've kind of experimented a little bit with it, you kind of start understanding it. That's pretty cool. How did I turn the image? How do you mean, how did I turn the image? Oh, you mean the rotation? Like, okay. So there's this tool that is this one. Okay, so that means it's gonna start doing this. So it's just, it rotates it, but it's not, when I save the file, it's not like it's gonna save diagonally, you know, like the horizontal is still horizontal in the file. It's just a way of me seeing it. Does that make sense? And the shortcut for me is R. I don't know if that's like the default one. And the good thing is you can press Shift and it kind of goes by angles, like a perfect angle. I don't know how many there are. Let's see, 45. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's not a precise angle, but it's like a precise division, if that makes sense. Okay. So it's not like 10, 20, stuff like that. But I bet you can customize that if you wanted to. Okay, so if I remember correctly, there was this lip here. So I'm working from a bit of imagination and a bit of memory out of this box cutter. I'm not entirely sure like what the structure is, but I'm kind of guessing, and I'm going along seeing my previous drawing. And here we have some lines. Okay, there we go. Okay, thanks. Yeah, was that it? Okay, that's super cool. There's also a faster way to flip the image. Like sometimes when we draw things, they look fine, but like horizontally, they're also kind of not fine. So we need to flip them real quick. And when you start working with larger files, like going with image adjustments, is it? Oh, here, image rotation, you can flip everything horizontally. Okay, so that takes a bit of processing, and then it does it. Hopefully. It didn't do it. There we go. Okay, so now it's updated. There we go. It's super jittery for some reason. Wow, that messed up everything. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is way faster. But there's another one which you can just go with like view, and you can flip horizontal. And that's instant. And that's just because it's flipping the view, but it's not flipping the file. Does that make sense? So yeah, you can work. You can still work normally, like it's not flipping your like the way that you're drawing. But once you export the file, it's gonna reflip it again. Unlike with this, like with this way of flipping actually modifies the file. Okay. So that's kind of a huge difference. Ah, no, there we go. Okay, let's keep going. Is that right? I'm not sure if this is right, but okay, whatever. Let's just trust this drawing a little bit. I'm not going to get into the specifics of each and every tool like that much. I'm not going to go that deep. I'm just going to keep it simple. So I'm just going to draw these lines so I kind of know what to expect. No, actually I have to draw them all. I'm sorry, guys. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. Hashtag Arturo tips. That would be a great hashtag if it existed. Okay, so I'm noticing that this line is not like fitting, so I'm just gonna modify it. And yeah, it's getting pixelated, but it's not that bad. Oh, okay, so don't get angry at me. Like, I am destroying the image when I transform it. And also when I save it. Have you seen this like super reused images in Instagram that they kind of look like cheap like primary school photocopy? I don't know if you've seen that. But that happens because it's been saved as a JPEG and it's been reposted and retransmitted through different files and different processes. So much that the compression, even as if it's very slight, after the 100th photocopy, it starts looking like garbage. Like it looks like nothing like the original image. Let's just do this, and this is like the blade, and I know there are like some little lines here that are something like that. And these kind of keep the blade like lying down. Let's draw the lines. So I'm just going to draw some random-ish lines here. And right here I'm going to draw something like it's kind of the cart that the little thumb thingy drives on. Whoa. Whew, okay. So there's a ton of lines here that I'm still missing. Let's see if I can make them easier. So I'm just gonna grab this. Why is that so weird? Okay, I don't know. Let's just trust the drawing. Okay, so I made this in this layer, and now I'm gonna use the tip that I just, the pro tip that I told you about a minute ago. So I'm just gonna duplicate it and define this as the center and kind of slide it forward. And once and again. And this is gonna quickly get old with the image, but it's a good way to make a bit more precise things that we're used to. Okay, so there we go. So that way we've made like these 4 lines on top, and now I can just erase the excess. And I'm gonna erase some of these lines because I know there's some texture there. I remember it because I drew these little holes, and that's just something that happens in the box cutter. Okay, so I'm gonna define this as the lower edge. I don't know if there are lines there, but apparently there are. So let's just do that. Let's do that in a new layer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's do that again. So this is in a different file. Yeah, good. Let's center it here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So they're not perfect, but they work wonders here. Actually, well, let's just do these by eye. I don't really mind the perfection right now. And let's erase this line because it's super noisy. Okay, there we go. I'm going to journal these, so these are just the lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a design change to this box cutter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this like a diagonal line and erase all of these, because I think it's like taking too much space and too much attention, and I don't like that. I think it's not necessary. Okay, so let's just redefine this line as well. So I'm going to redefine it as this one. And let's just start doing this, completing them. And now we have the choice to make. So I'm getting a bit nauseous with all these images. So there we go. Good. So now we have a double line here. We missed a lot. Okay. So even though this weren't the spaces that we thought they would be, they're now the space on the box cutter. And that's good enough for me. And I'm just going to make another one just freehand, and the last one just as some design changes for the box cutter. Okay, that's good enough. So here we are. This is how far we've gotten so far. Okay. The only character that we have so far is like this octopus. Okay. Whew. Which one should I do next? Which one do you think? The wooden spoon, the ink pen, the other ink pen, this is garbage, and masking tape, or the paint roller? Let me know. Let's save, by the way. I'm going to stretch a little bit. Oof. Are you guys listening to any music? If you are, you can share it on the chat so everyone can get to listen to it. Okay? That would be amazing. The paint roller, says my dad, so I have to do it, guys. Like, it's my dad, you know? Thank you, Dad. Let's do the paint roller. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so there we go. Let's avoid the horizontals for now. The paint roller is another one that is pretty flashy, and I like it. But I don't want it to be as flashy. So I want it to be, let's see, because we can place it here, but I think it's a bit too far away. Like, it should be a bit more central. So this is just pure exploration right now. I think this works. And it also helps us redirect our attention to the face. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, I like it. I like it there. I'm just gonna modify it a little bit. So there we go, something like that. So it kind of fits with this, also with this quadrant. Let's try to align both. I'm not sure we can. Something like that. I'm not sure. Yeesh, did I just deform it a bit too much? No, that's still passable. Yeah, we can still sketch over it. Okay, good. I'm happy with that location. Let's go ahead with the paint roller. So I'm just gonna put it down here. And this is the box cutter, I'm guessing. Yeah, good. I was so confused about that name. I was like, bisturi. How do you say freaking bisturi in English? Like, where does that word come from? I'm guessing like it should be like French or something. Let's cheat a little bit. So I'm gonna make a bit of a soften here. So this is something that is super useful. So I'm just gonna make this line, and I'm gonna make it softer like entirely. So it kind of evens it out. So if you want to make like a very smooth curve, it's really cool, because if not, then it's like you have these pressure points, and most programs have that option as well. And I don't like it to be 100%, but I like it just a little bit, so it helps like perfect forms. Like, yeah, cleaner forms. Wow, that's dirty as hell. So let's just redo that. Okay, there we go. Am I in a new layer? Yeah, good, okay. It's important that we check the new layer thing because it's yeah, it's just important. Okay, so right now I have these lines which like don't fit with the red line, so I'm just gonna kind of skew them a little bit, okay? So don't judge me. Like, I know it looks like I'm just making, like, doing whatever I want with this image. I kind of am. But it'll fit, okay? It'll fit in the end, so don't worry too much about it. Okie doke. There we go. That's a beauty. Okay, so let's just do this and this. We're gonna chop it a little bit there. It's no biggie. So you're gonna watch me do this a ton because it's like draw a line and then redo it and then redo it and then redo it. And sometimes you get into that loop and it's not helpful at all. Because you're never gonna get the perfect line. Does that make sense? But still, like it's something that you can do. I'm just trying to let you guys know that it's okay not to get the perfect line. Okay, there we go. You're right, bisturi in French, in French, which means puñal. Oh, I was right. That's super cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. And it is kind of a puñal. It's just a terrible weapon. But it's also a tool. Okay, I think we're done with the roller. That was quick. I love that. I'm thinking that we can also do like a different character in the roller. But I'm not sure if it should be an animal. Like we can do that. Like we can have that subject once and again, like be like all of the creatures that are on top are kind of animals. That could also be cool. We could do that. So a roller would immediately have to be a let's see if I can do this. I'm not entirely sure like about the shape and about the anatomy of these guys, but I'm thinking about like a sand shrew. Does that make sense? So they're either Pokemon or animals. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with Pokemon. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's good enough, I'm guessing. Yeah, so that's kind of from underneath. I'm not sure if that's understandable or not, but still. So yeah, let's just put this. The roller. And we're gonna make this into an, how do you call them? Echidna, I don't know. No, these are, I'm gonna do just sand shrew, whatever. Sans shrew. Okay, good. So which one should we do next? We have the ink pen, the masking tape, the wooden spoon. I'm guessing then the ink pen is going to be like the most useful one because it's like tiny, and oh, the wooden spoon is also quite fun. And we have a wooden spoon back here, so I'm just going to do the wooden spoon. I'm not going to even ask her. for your opinion. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see if we can find a better place for it. I'm thinking that maybe this would be a good spot. It's too close to the thirds, so that's why I'm kind of doubting it a little bit. This one, like, you just don't understand what it is. So that's not good. Let's try this one. And I'm gonna try to make it fit with our perspective. Actually, I'm gonna do something different right now. So I'm gonna make it super vertical, and then I'm gonna set like make it larger so we don't lose any information when I do this. So let's make it a smart object all over again. Here we go. Smart object. There we go. And now it's kind of aligned. So let's see. Can we do this? Can we pull it off? I think so. We can pull it off like right here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to fit this into perspective. Does that make sense? Did we just mess that whole shape up? I think we did. Let's abort. There we go. That's awesome. That's great placing, Arthur. That's amazing. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So I'm thinking here. Yeah, that's good enough. And let's try to make it a bit larger in the back and a bit smaller in the front, just so it kind of fits the red lines a bit better. Yeah, that works. Okay. Let's reduce the opacity and make the line art. Okay. So we're just gonna do that. And I'm thinking that it would be cool to have a character on this one, because it's so thin, it's like perfect for that. You know what? I'm gonna sketch characters afterwards, because I think we're gonna lose a bit of time here, and I don't want to like lose that much time. The octopus here. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. There we go, and let's just paste it here. So it should be the same size. Yeah, there we go. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So this is the brush, and this is the octopus. Good. So we have this. There we go. So far what we have is this, just a few lines, but they're kind of, we're getting somewhere. That's pretty cool. Okay, so next up is the masking tape. Let's just do the masking tape real quick. I'm guessing it could be like really small somewhere, like here. The thing is, I don't know like which angle it would. Something like that. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find something else. Oh, I like that a lot. The thing is, it frames the edge, so that's kind of the only reason I'm not doing it. Like, it makes this little shape here that would distract me and would send me to the corner like crazy. So I'm gonna do this here maybe. Something like that. Yeah, let's do that behind the Yoo-hoo thing. And we can actually do 2 of these because there's just like the color difference. What? No. There we go. Here we go. Would that send me away? No. Okay, good. Good. So those are 2 masking tapes. Let's just join them, whatever. And we're going to reduce the opacity on them. And yep. Okay. Oops. Guápate, hijo de madres. There we go. And let's do this one as well. So I'm just going to rotate a little bit so it's easier on my hand. There we go. Just reduce this. That doesn't look like much, but it works. Like with these, it works. It just looks weird. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna erase this one. I don't like it. And let's find a new home for that one. Oh, I like that. Okay, so we're gonna do that just to generate a bit of a rhythm. Actually, I need this one to be a bit different. Let's just solidify them and transform them a little bit. Oh. Yeah, just like that. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So we have that one. Let's just keep... Did we sketch the background? Oh, we forgot a line, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Madame Tape. So this looks super thick. That's because it is because this tape is so small. But we're just gonna keep on respecting our brush size. Okay. Just so the line art is like nice and even. And how we're gonna work with this is these are all objects that are flying around, so they're kind of, there's a heavy line art around them. But for the background, we're gonna have a lighter line art. Okay. Good. Now let's go with the ink pen. So with the ink pen, we can have like a bunch of them. Now that's a good thing. So let's see, I'm just gonna, because I use a lot of ink pens, so I like the fact that this one is kind of flying off to the side. Does that look well? I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to like make this fit with the perspective. Yeah, that looks well. And I'm gonna use this one as a guide, but I'm not gonna copy this because it would look just like exactly the same. With the masking tape, it's just like there's not much, there's not many options in there. So we can make this like larger maybe. And we can make this chubbier. Let's see how this works. Okay, something like that. Yeah, that works. And let's add another one. Yeesh. Can we like reset? I just canceled that transform. Okay. So let's just do it by eye, whatever. So this should be vertical and this should be like almost here. And maybe there's like slight difference. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough for a reset at least. And we can make, yeah, let's do another one. Okay, like that. Oh, the vanishing point is almost like not visible there. So let's just transform it a little bit. There we go. What? Good. So we have this ink pen, which is a third copy. And let's do it again. So none of you are listening to music? That's amazing. Like you're just enjoying the silence, maybe? Okay, there we go. That's good, but it's like generating a rhythm, so it's like blah, blah, and that rhythm is not something that I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna make it a bit closer to this one, or a bit farther away. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm enjoying watching you draw. Oh, thank you. That's super nice. That's super nice of you. I'm happy that you're enjoying it. But the thing is, I usually do these like without any music, so you can listen to music if you want. So that's basically what I think. I'm not sure if you do, but you could if you wanted to. Because if I placed my own music, like you wouldn't be able to listen to yours. So that's kind of my way of thinking. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or if you agree or not. Let's just make it this like super softer. No, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, finally we made it. Okie doke. Okay, that's good enough. I don't want the tip to look exactly the same on all of them because that would look unnatural and it would like just make us look weak. It would just make us look a bit lazy, and we don't want that, right? Like we want to make this image pop and people to watch it for a while and like think like, ooh, there's another one. Oh, that's another one. Oh, I love that kind of pen and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this on this side. That's going to be enough. Okay, let's do this one now. So these are all approximate guides. Like this is not exactly circular, so I'm just gonna redefine it, okay? Because it works better with the angle that we're working with. I still use this as a reference, so I still use the base image as a super useful reference. So with this one, I'm just not gonna make any little thing here, just to have a bit of a variation there. Okay, there we go, guys. So this is as far as we've gotten with our, oh, the spoon is still visible. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So this is as far as we've gotten with our sketches today. Oh, the pencil is not complete. Hang on. Because we sketched it right next to the border, and it's not going to the edge, so let's just fix that a little bit quick. Okie doke. Okay guys, so yeah, this is what we did today, basically. Doesn't look like much, but still, it's a lot of things that we're working on. I'm really happy with that, and the rest of them can almost be like small drawings. How does the cheering work here? Is that what you said we could help you with? Oh yeah, that's true, but I haven't, like I already did some of that, but I'm not really sure how it works. I'm thinking it's like right next to the message, like there's like the send a message bar, and after that there's like a little triangle. I think that's the cheering. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but yeah, I think that's it. Let's click it, see how it goes. You cannot cheer in your own channel. That's what it says for me. So yeah, those are the cheers. I can't do it for myself, which would be kind of amazing. But yeah, if you try it, that would be awesome. Just let me know. Let me know if that works. The box cutter and the pencil. That's good. We didn't draw any fish today. That's so sad. Okay, I'm getting a bit scared with this image because I'm guessing that it's gonna take a bit more time than I anticipated again. So I'm guessing we can just like do some more days. The marathon was a bit too long for me, and I'm guessing it's too long for you guys as well, like to do a marathon. But I'm guessing we can like do an extra stream like in one day of the week. I'm guessing, I don't know if Friday would work for you guys or Thursday. Just let me know like right now which day would you prefer, either Thursday or Friday. Let me know, and we can do another stream just for these weeks where we need a bit more speed. A bit more time. Whew, let's save this. Okay, there we go, guys. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on our next stream, which I don't know when it's gonna be. So I'm gonna make an Instagram poll. I think that's a bit easier to see when we're gonna meet again. Okay. Oh, actually, we have Wednesdays, so see you on Wednesday. But I'm guessing like we're gonna have an extra stream. So let's see. Yeah, I'll just make a poll on Instagram. So go and vote over there. Okay. So thank you guys for being here. I had a blast again, and it was pretty fun drawing all of these things all over again and kind of sketching them in place in a bit of a cleaner way. Yeah, it helped a lot. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye bye. Ciao. Bye guys.